Hey, PreSales Collective, it's James Kaikis, and welcome to the PreSales Podcast. I hope you've had a chance to listen to my previous 2 episodes to learn a little bit more about what we're doing here at the PreSales Collective in 2022 and why we are so excited for the future of PreSales. Today's episode is fixing the diversity problems in PreSales, and it's a special one because today is also Martin Luther King Day here in the United States. Dr. King was a spokesperson for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, and on this day, we celebrate Dr. King and his sacrifice of his life in his fight toward equality. We are still fighting that fight today. Lowe's CEO Marvin Ellison, one of the few Black CEOs in Fortune 500 companies, said as a Black man in America, this is mentally exhausting that in 2020, we are still discussing racial injustice. Transparently, it's really hard to transition from Dr. King and racial inequality to the problems that we're facing in pre-sales without doing it proper justice. But today, I want to talk about fixing the diversity problems in pre-sales. And let's start with a statistic. According to McKinsey in 2021, women in senior management were twice as likely as men to spend substantial time on DEI work falling outside of their day-to-day. So if you maybe fall into that category, please listen up in today's episode. Earlier this year, the PreSales Collective and PreSales Academy teams spent time working on values. We wanted to create values that were extremely meaningful, serving as a catalyst for change, cultivating community through belonging, supporting personal and professional growth, and advocating equal opportunity for all. And that last one is so important for us because we've made an emphasis on providing opportunities for all. I mean this respectfully, but for so long, the same few people were all that you saw around the pre-sales profession. And it's really time to change that because there are so many people doing really innovative things across the world. And with PreSales Collective, we were able to see that and hear those stories of those folks in the field and bring them to life. From the beginning of PreSales Collective, we've made diversity, equality, equity, and inclusion a priority. Our 3rd webinar was driving better business results through diversity and inclusion. And our 4th webinar was No Woman Left Behind and the launch of our Women in Solutions Excellence program. Although our profession is dominated by men, especially white men, and as a white male myself, we make sure to make a focal effort that you would not know that by being a member of our community. We track every single aspect of our business to the best of our abilities, and there's still work to be done. With PreSales Collective, we are so proud of our partnership with Sales Talent Agency and the release of the State of Diversity in Pre-Sales report in November 2021. If you haven't checked that out, please go to the PreSales Collective website under the Learn tab and click on the State of Diversity in Pre-Sales report. This is a report that we are absolutely committed to publishing annually and want to continue to benchmark ourselves and our profession against those metrics. I previously mentioned Marvin Ellison because I was listening to a Fortune podcast last year with Alan Murray and Ellen McGrath. And something that Marvin said struck a chord with me because it's not the first time that I heard this. When Marvin walked in a room as the executive and CEO of Lowe's, he was the only person that looked like him. And that story is something that we hear all of the time. Even on the PreSales podcast, we've had a dozen guests say that they've had to talk or act or be a certain way to be given an opportunity. Cindy Goodwin-Sachs said that she had to dress like a guy in slacks and a polo to fit in. And we need to break that glass ceiling. So many people in this profession do not see themselves in the room. They do not see themselves in leadership positions at organizations, and we need to change that. We need to help make this amazing pre-sales profession more accessible to everyone. Allow them to see themselves in this role because this is a great profession, and this can allow people to change their trajectory in life. It's something that I like to talk about with PreSales Academy is changing their trajectory and be giving an opportunity to make a career in tech. And this is something that we talked about at the Leadership Symposium in July in the War for Talent with Wendy McHenry and David Malouf, the evolution of the pre-sales role. As Wendy discussed, the role is much different than it was 5, 10, or 20 years ago. And we've actually seen that with PreSales Academy. We've seen special education teachers, food and beverage managers, physicians, gym teachers, insurance sales folks go through this program to learn what it means to be a pre-sales professional. And in that same session, David Malouf talked about where you fish matters. So many times we are so busy at our companies that we go to our network. We go to that same pond and pull out those same fish. So we're hiring the same people, company after company after company. And what does that mean? It means that we're not always giving people opportunity. And with the current hiring climate and the demand for talent, we as pre-sales professionals need to go and seek out opportunity. We need to give people a chance. Brett Kremke's on the PreSales Podcast talked about someone gave him a chance, and so he wants to do the same. And so he's created a process at his company to give non-traditional backgrounds an opportunity to join this amazing profession. And yes, for Brett, he created a process. He got organizational buy-in from his sales, his executives to bring people in, but he is giving them an opportunity. And it takes a focal effort. It takes energy. And when we're so busy and we have so many competing priorities, we sometimes don't take the energy and effort to build diverse pipelines. We take the shortcuts. We do the easy things based off demands of our business. And we have to be better in that. For 2022, my challenge is for all those pre-sales professionals out there to think about people who could do a great job in this role. Send them to the PreSales Collective and PreSales Academy. Make them aware of this profession. As hiring managers, look at your recruiting and hiring practices. Are you building a diverse pipeline? Are you giving opportunity? Be helpful and build mentorship opportunities. Help people connect. That is what this profession needs to move forward. We need to see more people leading from the front and building diverse pipelines and giving people a chance. And so with PreSales Collective, we are here to support you in that journey. We are putting out content with the State of Diversity and Pre-Sales Report. We'll do that annually. We'll continue to do that through our Diversity, Equality, Equity, and Inclusion program, our Women in Solutions Excellence program. We want to support you. So if you are feeling alone or you're feeling like you don't know where to start, please reach out to us. We are happy to help because we want to lead from the front. We believe that this is the best profession that nobody has ever heard of. And we want to change that. We want people to grow up and aspire to be sales engineers, to be customer-centric problem solvers. And that is going to take a lot of effort over a long period of time. So while we talk about fixing the diversity problem within pre-sales, it's going to take a lot of those folks listening to lead from the front. And so I want to just say thank you for listening to today's podcast. Thank you for taking this message seriously. And we are here to support you on that journey.